Well, good morning. Welcome to Sunday School. I feel about like this list is today. About half here. I don't know if you guys are in good shape. Emma's not here today. She's down in her back. She's having more trouble with her back. And then we had everybody over yesterday for Christmas. And, of course, we prepared for about 2 or 3 days, and she cooked for 2 days, and they left in 2 hours. So, but that's how family gatherings are when we get older. It's quick and gone. But looking here at our bulletin, we got one more night. December the 31st at 7:30 for the watch night service. Let's see what else we got here. We have a note from Linda Archer here for her, praying for her cancer diagnosis and surgery. Temple Christian School is selling cash books as a fundraiser. 10 in a row in spite of the snow. I don't know if that's a curse or a blessing that we got this. It seems like when everything is quiet and we bring it up, then it comes. But then if we have it coming, we sort of put up with it. But anyway, 10 in a row in spite of the snow. I'm sure that the snow will be coming sooner or later. Notice Wednesday night electives, starting in January the 19th through February the 9th. Prophecy, Pastor Jerry Seiler, Steadfast Family, Brother Charles Webb, and Biblical Citizenship. That's different. Men's Prayer Breakfast, January the 8th, meeting in the choir room, and then going down to Ruby Hall for breakfast. Remember the ones in prayer here that this time of year are especially hard, that are in the hospital, ones that have lost loved ones here at this Christmas time, listed here at different hospitals and the different ones for bereavement that have lost a loved one. So remember all these things that are going on. As we get back to regular topics and so forth, a few weeks ago I had mentioned that I will start some articles here on these 17 things that we believe here at Cornerstone that are listed in CVD ministry on the internet. If you have an internet and if you watch our services and so forth, you can go down to resources and click on it, and it'll have what we believe. And we've talked about what we believe about the Scriptures, about the Godhead, about the virgin birth. And today we have the devil. Is it on the screen? Yes, it is. We believe that the devil is a real person. That seems obvious, doesn't it? But it seems like a lot of people think, it's just a spirit. It's just an idea. It's just, they don't look at the devil as a real person. But we believe the devil is a real person, a spirit being who was once holy and lived in the presence of God. And through pride and ambition to be as the Almighty, he fell and drew after him a host of angels. It seems 1/3 of the angels. That he is the enemy of God and of Christ, and therefore an enemy of all true born-again believers. In the book of Revelation, he's the accuser of the brethren, or accuser of the saints. He's the author of all false religions and would have all worship him. Further, we hold, however, that he is destined to a final defeat and the judgment of God in the eternal lake of fire prepared for him and his angels. Years ago, this sort of tells me of my age, there was a comedian that came up with a phrase that people laughed at because he was a comedian. And that phrase was, "The devil made me do it." A lot of people jumped onto that, and they looked at, I'm really pretty good. I try to do right, and I don't premeditatedly sin. And sometimes I make errors or mistakes, or sometimes the devil made me do it. Ha ha. Well, as we think about that statement, first thing I'd say, what's a chapter and verse on that? Where did you get that from? We go back to the beginning on this in the sense about the devil. This is what we're talking about these few minutes before the pastor comes. And hear this idea, and people have caught on to that, and they still catch on to that today. And when they say something wrong or do something wrong, they'll say, oops, the devil made me do it. You know, and like I'm not responsible. And that's sort of how it started. If you remember in the garden, after Adam and Eve sinned, that God came to Adam. And he called Adam, and he said, where art thou? And Adam said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, and I hid myself. Adam had been walking with God before this. So God asked Adam, he said, who told you that you was naked? Hast thou eaten of the tree where I commanded thee that thou should not eat, lest thou shalt surely die? And guess what Adam says to that? And the man said, the woman that thou gavest me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat. Wow. Talk about passing the buck. He didn't say that I did it. He didn't even say the devil did it. He said the woman did it, and she caused me to eat, and she's the woman that you gave me. And even condemning God that he gave me a woman that caused me to sin. Passing the buck. And so God asked the woman, what is it that this house done? And the woman said, the serpent. The serpent beguiled me, he deceived me, and I did eat. Passing the buck. Right down to the serpent himself, or the devil. Did God accept these excuses? No, he didn't. Because he says, in the day that thou shalt eat of it, thou shalt, Adam, thou shalt, Eve, surely die. And in Genesis chapter 5, it starts giving you the generations of Adam. And after every person, it has this phrase, and they died. And they died. And they died. So death passed on all men, and we died. This is part of the penalty of sin, is death, and death comes from disease, from accidents, from shootings, from wars, from all kinds of things, but death primarily is passed on because of sin. And people want to blame the devil. They want to blame society. They want to blame everybody else except themselves about sin. So as a person that deals with questions and answers, I have a lot of people that have asked me through the years about the devil and about sin. So I thought I'd give some of these questions here. First question, why did God create the devil? And you say, why did God create the devil? Isn't God omniscient? Doesn't God know what would happen before it happened? Yes, he did. So why did he create the devil? He didn't create the devil. Well, where did he come from? He created a cherubim that became the devil. God created all things in heaven and in earth and under the earth. So he did not create him as the devil. He created him as an angelic creature called a cherubim, which was the highest creation in heaven. He is referred to as the anointed cherub that covereth the throne of God. So when we think about people come up, well, why did God create the devil? Bad question. He didn't create the devil. He created the anointed cherub of God that became the devil. So that's the first question. So he was not created the devil. He's created an anointed cherub, Ezekiel chapter 28, verse 13. Question of why or when did he fall from this position? Well, we know it was before he created Adam and Eve, because he tempted Adam and Eve in the garden. So we know it had to be before the sixth day. And going back to, when do you think God created the angels? It doesn't really say. It says he created them. It doesn't say what day. It doesn't say specifically when it lists the days that God created this and that he created angels on this day. It is believed that he probably created angels on the second day, because it referring to the stars. You say, the stars? Well, angels are referred to as stars too. I know there's physical, literal stars, but angels are also referred to as stars. But pride was the first sin. And Satan says, I will ascend into the heavens and to the throne of God. So because he was the highest created being, that wasn't good enough. He wanted to be God himself. So this was the sin of Satan as we're thinking about the devil and Satan. When did he first appear? He first appeared, as far as the Bible, in Genesis. He appeared as a serpent in the garden, tempting Eve, beguiling Eve. He also appears as Leviathan, the piercing serpent. He's called the old serpent, the devil, and Satan. He's the adversary. He is our enemy. He goes about as what? A roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. Devour our testimony, devour our life. He is going about to desire to eliminate us or eliminate our testimony. Today he appears as an angel of light. You know, people are always talking about, this is unbelievers talking about, did you see the light? When I had this experience of what I thought was dying, when I wasn't able to breathe there, and then I went to a nurse and I had some tests, and they looked at my chart and they said, did you know you was about to die? I said, yeah, I knew that. Did you see the light? I said, I have the light. I wasn't looking for a light. I was looking for angels to take me on to heaven, but they wanted to know, did I see the light? But here, Paul talks about the devil appears as an angel of light and a minister of righteousness. You know, we think of the devil, we think, hey, he's right down, you know, in the traps of sin, the worst kind of sin. That's the devil, and that's the people of the devil. They may be there too, but a lot of times the devil is in a pulpit, or might be a leader of a nation, or he might be a minister. He's going to appear as something good, not something bad. Prince of this world, the prince and the power of the air, the tempter to sin. Where is the devil today? You know, unbelievers, you know where they think the devil is? Well, they would say, if there is a hell, and they'll say, I don't even know if there is, the devil must be in hell. He's not in hell. Not according to the book of Job. He was in the presence of God, and they were talking about Job. The devil is free for a while, for a season. Not only the devil is free, some of his angels are free. Some of his angels that sinned are in hell, are in chains of darkness, but the devil himself is free, and there's some devils or demons that are free. This is where we come up with this demon possession that we see in the ministry of Christ. They're free for a while, but there is a judgment, and they will land up in the lake of fire, the beast and the false prophet, and that's where Satan is going to be. And, of course, this will be at the end of the millennial kingdom. Okay, what is the best description? If you was looking for a description of hell, not a description of hell, but a description of the devil, where would you find it? You would find it in John 8:44. And you say, John 8:44? I thought you'd find it in Revelation or something. No, you'll find it in John 8:44. And you know who said it? Jesus himself said it. John 8:44. He says, the devil was a murderer from the beginning. Who did he murder? Cain killed his brother Abel because he was of the wicked one. Jesus said Satan was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in truth. Who lied to Eve? The serpent. The devil. Because there is no truth in him. And when he speaks a lie, he speaketh of his own, because that is who he is. He's a liar. He speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. This is what Jesus said about the devil. So when we're looking at what we believe about